That's amazing, man. I know how Bone made me feel when I first heard him.
Oh,
It was
man.
just something. I don't know how to describe it, but it just hooked you.
It does.
Because I heard like they got a cult following.
Literally.
Literally.
Yeah, Bone had a different flavor and sound. I mean, even their rivals at the time, 3 6 Mafia, even though that became my absolute favorite group
Mine as
of
well.
all time, Bone still had just a different flavor and style. That Cleveland sound and that Ohio, even though they had the triplet flow, you know, Lord Infamous was the king of the triplet flow. It was just something about that Bone. Golly, bro, like, man.
It's like it did really like
to this day.
Yeah.
Like, to this day, 2021. Like, oh, man, that was our time. If you put it on right now anywhere, you know, it's the first of the month. After this, people will go crazy.
And it
man.
never gets old.
It never gets old.
That's amazing to make something that never gets old.
Yeah. And then I think the Crossroads, as I'm talking about it, I'm seeing the imagery. Remember the video from the Crossroads?
I do.
When the guy, his people got killed, and so just to see how they showed the spirit world, even in that time, I think they were such pioneers. You know what I'm saying? Because one thing about Bone, you know, not to get into all of the occultic stuff, unless that's where you want to go, but generally speaking, the fact that they showed the spirit realm more. You might expect it from maybe a white film producer or something like that, and I'm not saying that they don't, because really when you're doing music, they don't have as much of the creative hands on stuff as people think. But remember when they was at the Crossroads, so they were showing the angel, like they were showing spiritual stuff, and as a child I was like, that's interesting. Like, this a rap song talking about the brother died and going to heaven. Like, I just wanted to throw that in there.
I don't think that we saw that a lot in black music either, and it definitely, you know, began to awaken something that was already in us. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm a minister as well. You know what I'm saying? At this point in my life, and you know, I thank God for everything that I was exposed to in general. But at this point in my life and where I am, I'm like, I don't know how I can say this, but respectfully, like, it's apples and oranges. Like, it's light years away from what I saw as a child. And I ain't knocking nobody that I was, you know, came up with in the church. Like, I love them people, but they only know what they know. But as I began to truly go deeper in God, the God of the Bible, and see how real this really is, it changes everything. You know what I'm saying? So they were showing at an early time the reality that we all are a part of. But I think a part of the misconception and borderline deception is, you know, you can live and I'm just talking briefly about this, you can live the gangster lifestyle, die in the gangster lifestyle and sin, and then still go to heaven. You know, the Bible just says something different.
True indeed.
And that's why I like to share people what the Bible says and not what we culturally believe.